Once you know how to read and listen as well as talk in a certain language, writing is a next logical step. Yet many people dread the idea of writing. Very few people will end up having to write for a living, like reporters, authors, researchers, script writers, copywriters. For these people, writing is a natural or innate skill. If you ask them how did your writing reach that level of professionalism, all of them will not be able to give an answer. Even for me, as I have written so far in this book, writing about how I am able to write so fluently and with such finesse and structure is very difficult. It just happens. But I believe it's not fair for those who are not born with the wiring of a writer. So this section is my attempt to mend this unfairness. Most of us will not make a living from writing, but without writing skills, we will not be able to perform in most jobs nowadays. If nothing, you will have to apply for leave. Many of us would have gotten a job by writing an application and a CV. We'd also need to resign through a letter. Time and again would be asked to clarify our actions in written. No matter what job we do, we will be supposed to send reports. Some of us would have jobs to write proposals. Some would be in higher level positions and they would need to write strategic plans. Even a blue collar worker would need to write text messages to explain the updates on the project that he has been given. Even the unemployed student would need to send text messages to other friends about why he can't join them. People might need to write messages to end a relationship. Nowadays, even teenagers are forced by their peers to have long chats through various apps. All this is mostly done through writing. But still, people say that they do not like to write. They are not good at writing. How can anybody become good at writing? As a corporate trainer, I have provided many top level executives training on how to write various correspondences. They can write, but their problem is they are not able to play with the words, vocabulary, flow of ideas, and grammar in order to convey a certain kind of voice, tone, sense of urgency, position of authority, and a call for action. So, my job is to help them package their ideas into a writing that conveys it. That is what they want to say accurately. At higher levels, I found out that just demonstrating them with immediate writings reflecting various styles opens their minds to the fact that there are many ways to say the same thing. Once they get the example from me, they are thus able to play with the various styles of writing. What I just taught is useful for those who already are good at writing. But what if it's a student who is an imposter? What should such a person do in order to improve his writing? First of all, my suggestion is that he reads as much as possible. Without input, there cannot be an output. Next, he should take a good book and copy what he is reading with the objective of learning how the writer was writing. In this way, this imposter student is now learning by doing. The next thing this student should do is to write a journal. The important thing is to be able to put what is going on in his mind on black and white or a screen. But in order to really improve writing, he should use a pen and paper. When you write a journal, at first it doesn't have to be readable by others. The idea is to develop the habit to jot down what is in your mind. It's okay if the points are jumbled up and there is no clarity or logic. The first step is to be able to translate your thoughts and feelings into words and sentences and paragraphs. To write properly, you must have the correct spelling and your grammar should be correct. So that's where artificial intelligence would come in. Take a picture of what you have written and let ChatGPT or Gemini give you the correction. If you have a cooperative teacher or a tutor, then get the immediate feedback. In this way, over time, you will develop a writing that is grammatically correct and with proper spellings. That's the first part of writing. The next problem any student, be it an imposter or a real student who is struggling to keep up because he is not wired for writing naturally, is the organization of his thoughts or ideas. There's a big difference between thinking and writing. When we think, we do so in multiple dimensions, directions. We might be thinking about something, then immediately we might be obsessed by a certain feeling which is totally unrelated. After some time, another thought will come. This would go on until we would have forgotten what was the original thought that we began with. However, when it comes to writing, it is unidirectional and unidimensional. Writing is meant for somebody to read. He will start from the top left, moving right and downwards. Unlike with our thoughts, at the same time, we cannot entertain many ideas. In writing, we can only talk about one idea at a time. This is the challenge of writing. At the same time, this is the reason why writing is so important for clearing our thoughts, because it forces us to streamline what is in our heads and hearts. So in order to solve this problem, what I suggest students is to use some kind of mind map. Whatever comes in their minds, they should just jot it down. This mind map, or just a bunch of words on a paper, is able to contain all the thoughts and feelings the student is having at that particular time. So that piece of paper with the mind map and or all the points represents our multi-dimensional and multi-directional mind. In order to convert that into a proper writing, put some kind of sequencing throughout the mind map or the various points. Determine which idea or point should come first, which second, third, and so on. Make sure that all the ideas are linked to the core idea. Most likely, each idea will represent one paragraph. Every new idea will make thus a new paragraph. Of course, it could be more than one paragraph, or it could even be a whole chapter, depending on the extent of your knowledge on the topic. Once you have the sequence of ideas in a unidimensional and unidirectional format of writing, at least in your mind, begin to write. Write from the first point to the second, to the third, and so on. Every time you complete a point, put a tick mark against that particular point on the mind map or your notes. Move on till the end. Finally, when you are finished, try to wrap it up by summarizing all the points as briefly as possible and linking back to the original point that started the whole passage that you wrote. So now you have your first draft. The next step is to determine the objective and the target group of your writing. Is it a call for action, or is it just to show your expertise? Is it to bring the reader closer or to alienate him? Is it to command, or is it to schmooze? At least be vaguely sure about who will be the reader. Are they peers, seniors, juniors, competitors, suppliers, customers, people you know, people you don't know, highly educated folks or uneducated ones, and so on. Once you are finalized on the objective and the target group, revisit your first draft and tweak the words and the grammar in order to meet those objectives and satisfy that particular target group. Now, this process will definitely help to make your writing clear, logical, and without double meaning. However, unless you are a genius born with perfect wiring for writing, you will need to do dozens of drafts in order to satisfy your target group and fulfill your objectives. This is true at the beginning, but once you repeat this process many times, then you'll be able to produce the final level of draft within the first or second draft itself. This is what we call honing your writing skills. What I just talked to you so far is the basics of proper writing. But if you want to become a professional writer, that will definitely not be enough. So without going into too much details, for those of you who aspire to write articles, research papers, and books, I just want you to know that it's not that hard if you know what I'm going to say. Any good article or essay satisfies the four brains that we have talked about so far. They should appeal to the skill brains quadrant by mentioning facts, figures, procedures, steps, actions, rules, terms, jargon. Next, good articles should appeal to the knowledge brain quadrant by providing a big picture, logic, patterns, interrelationships between the various ideas that you are presenting. The information brain quadrant people will be satisfied when you provide them with anecdotes, stories, and examples about whatever topic you are discussing. Finally, the wisdom brain quadrant people will be happy when they are able to read metaphors, analogies, similes, so that they can bridge your topic with whatever is familiar to them. Diagrams would satisfy the knowledge brain quadrant people and the wisdom brain quadrant people equally, because it helps them visualize the concept as a whole in one shot. Some writers are better in giving dry explanations and citations. Others are better at providing cause and effect chains. Others are able to weave the whole article or book into a single metaphor. Then others are able to make a topic feel totally practical through anecdotes. Well, this is if you have to write as a profession, but if all the writing you will be doing in your life and career is to write text messages, emails, reports, and proposals, then at most you'll need just to be good in the scale brains quadrant type of writing, where you'll need to present the right terminologies with the proper reference to the rules or laws or procedures that you have stepped on. So the end of language is definitely writing. It's like saying the taste of the pudding is what matters. It's very easy to fool others that you are able to listen properly, and even that you can talk or that you can read. But when you need to write, it's a total different story. Maybe that is why writing was used so much in our school and college days. So I'm not against exams, even because they force us to write what we remember. In real life, we'd be forced to write what we think and feel more than what we remember. However, the process is the same as writing what we memorized, as writing what is in our head or hearts. Finally, with this information, skills, knowledge, and wisdom I provided you on reading and writing, I'm sure that you can help your students, no matter how lost they are or how much imposter syndrome they are suffering from, for real or for imagination. I hope that through this book you can help them redeem themselves and get back into the journey of self-learning. And for that, language is the most important tool, vehicle, weapon, whatever you call it.